like to bring up the fact that this all-knowing, benevolent creator who loves us all unconditionally would create pieces of evidence knowing that many of his creations would not follow it. See, in my mind, if I were to create a world and love all of the creations on it, which would be humans in this case, I would do everything I can to bring them to the light, proverbially. I would give them the most amount of chances possible to come to me in the afterlife to enjoy eternal bliss or whatever I promise. I would not create people knowing they would never turn to this light that I promised them. And yet, this is what theists will have you believe God does. He creates people and he leaves, at best, lackluster evidence. This almost begs the question of, if there is a real God, would it not be cruel to not ensure that all of your creations end up in your afterlife? And crueler still to create pieces of evidence that only apply to those who already at least partially have faith in you, to forever taunt those who will be damned to eternity of torture. If we don't believe that, then we have to believe he is not all-powerful, as he will leave these mediocre pieces of evidence that can at best only taunt a large population of people that he has created for his afterlife in the ideal world. It also begs the question of, if God is only going to allow this lackluster evidence of supporting him to exist, why would he allow so much more evidence against him to exist? All these other narratives about how life evolved that are more convincing to many people than his story. God providing this lackluster evidence, or no evidence at all, and then allowing this evidence which supports other narratives about how life evolved, therefore leading people farther away from his religion and a happy afterlife, doesn't that speak more on his lack of power? It speaks to me more as this evidence was fabricated by human beings and is therefore flawed, and we can see that, the majority of us can. Darwinian theory of evolution. There is boatloads of evidence to support that, indisputably. No one in their right mind, after looking at the evidence to support this theory, should think that it is wrong. However, you'll never find that for God's religion. And this ties more on, if God were to leave evidence, you'd think he would make it infallible. If he's all-powerful, he can do that. Which means the evidence currently left behind, eyewitness testimony, falsifiable materials, likely left by human beings in an attempt to prove of God's existence.